Amidst the pulsing of today's news, the sands of time in Israel whisper stories that seem eerily familiar. What if I told you that the events we witness today were written millennia ago? Prepare to embark on a journey where the present meets echoes from the biblical past. In ancient times, stories were told under the starry sky, where each star had its own tale. Today, we look up at the sky and see satellites, but the stories, they remain, echoing through the ages. Have you ever stopped to think about the power of stories? How they shape civilizations, inspire revolutions, and ignite the flame of hope in the midst of darkness? Just as Moses led his people through the desert, guided by a pillar of fire, we too seek guides in uncertain times, and often we find that guidance in the stories of the past. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it, once said the philosopher George Santayana. And as we look at current events in Israel, we see echoes of ancient times, conflicts and alliances, betrayals and redemptions. But just like in the past, there's always room for heroes, for those who stand up and make a difference. Imagine for a moment ancient Jerusalem, with its imposing walls and bustling markets. Now, contrast that image with modern Jerusalem, an epicenter of faith, politics, and culture. The similarities are striking, aren't they? Yet, each era has its own challenges and triumphs. Recently, tension has grown in the region, with events reminding us that peace is fragile and that history has a way of repeating itself. But here's the real question. What if the answers we seek for today's dilemmas are already written in the pages of history? What if lessons from the past are the key to a brighter future? In ancient times, young David, armed only with his faith and a sling, faced the giant Goliath. Against all odds, he emerged victorious, showing that faith and courage can overcome any challenge. This story, passed down from generation to generation, serves as a reminder that even in the toughest situations, there's always hope. Today, looking at the situation in Israel, we see a country that, despite its challenges, is filled with stories of resilience and overcoming. A land where every stone and every street has a story to tell. But just like in David's time, it's not just challenges that define its people, but the ability to rise after each adversity. The recent situation in Gaza shows us that even in tough times, there are stories of humanity and compassion. People, regardless of their faith or background, come together in search of peace and understanding. Just as David found strength in his faith, many today find strength in solidarity and hope for a better future. History teaches us that even in the most challenging moments, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And perhaps, by looking to the past, we can find the necessary inspiration to build a more promising future. I am not afraid of 10,000s of people who have set themselves against me round about. This biblical quote reminds us of the courage and determination that many have shown throughout history, facing unimaginable adversities. In ancient times, leaders and prophets faced challenges that seemed insurmountable. But with faith and determination, they overcame each one. Today, Israel faces challenges that, to many, seem insurmountable. But like the leaders of the past, the people of Israel show admirable resilience and determination. The recent situation in Gaza is a reminder that, even in the face of adversity, the search for peace and harmony continues. The history of Israel is rich in examples of overcoming. From biblical times to the present day, the country has been the scene of countless battles, both physical and spiritual. But in every challenge, we also see stories of hope, love, and unity. If the ancient prophets and leaders could see Israel today, what would they say? Would they be proud of the resilience and determination of the people? How would they react to the modern challenges Israel faces? Just as the ancient prophets and leaders found strength in their faith to overcome adversity, Many today in Israel find strength in unity and determination to build a better future for the next generations. And you, what do you think? How do you see the relationship between the challenges of the past and the present? And what can we learn from history to build a more promising future? In times of global turbulence, many turn to the eternal words of the Bible for understanding and comfort. The biblical narratives, rich in wisdom and teachings, have served as beacons for countless generations. But how do these narratives intertwine with the contemporary challenges we face? Recent developments in the Middle East hark back to scenarios described in the scriptures. Lands that are today the stage for tensions and diplomatic negotiations are the same that witnessed millennial biblical events. Are we seeing the manifestation of ancient prophecies? Or are they merely cycles of history repeating themselves? The Bible recounts conflicts, alliances, and miracles that occurred in regions we now know as Israel and its surroundings. For many believers, current events are seen as reflections or even fulfillments of biblical prophecies. For others, they are consequences of the geopolitical complexities of the modern era. What is indisputable is the power of faith in shaping our perception and response to global events. The Bible is not just a historical record, but a living source of guidance and inspiration. Given this, we are led to reflect: how can faith guide us in such challenging times? How can the scriptures shed light on the dilemmas of our age? And how can we, based on our faith, contribute to a more harmonious and understanding world? The journey in search of these answers is complex, but through it, we can find a greater purpose and a deeper connection with the divine in our everyday life. History shows us that even in the darkest moments, humanity has always found a way to persevere and find hope. The Bible is filled with stories of overcoming, of characters who, despite adversity, held on to their faith and found strength in God to move forward. In the New Testament, Jesus Christ faced persecution, betrayals, and ultimately crucifixion. However, his resurrection symbolizes the victory of light over darkness, hope over despair. This message of renewal and resurrection is especially relevant in current times, where many feel oppressed by circumstances. When we look at the current scenario, it's easy to feel disheartened. However, it's crucial to remember that just like in the biblical stories, hope and redemption are always within reach. Faith teaches us that even in the hardest moments, we are not alone. God is with us, guiding us, and offering comfort. And if we turn our gaze to the global community, we'll see countless examples of solidarity, compassion, and resilience. People coming together to help each other, communities rebuilding after adversities, and nations working together for a common goal. So, instead of focusing only on the hardships, how about seeking inspiration in the overcoming stories? How about remembering the divine promises of protection and care? And, above all, how about coming together in prayer and action, confident that with faith and determination, we can overcome any challenge? After all, as written in Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. And with this promise in mind, we can move forward with hope and determination, knowing the best is yet to come. If you were touched by this message and wish to continue exploring the connections between current events and biblical stories, I ask for a simple gesture. Click like and subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you not only help us bring this message to more people, but also ensure you won't miss any of our future content. And if you know someone who would also benefit from this reflection, share this video. Together, we can find hope and inspiration, even in the most challenging times. Thank you, and may God bless all of us.